Welcome out, everyone. Monday, July 14th, 2014, to Mustangs TV and Sports Talk Mania with Lee Haygood. I'm your host, Lee Haygood. I'll be sitting in here for the next hour. You can give us a call. We've changed our phone number, so make sure you write this down. You can give us a call at 931-629-1824. That's 931-629-1824. We got us a new phone line in just so I don't cut people off like I was cutting people off in the past. And I apologize to that. Be glad for you give us a call. Phone lines are open, so you can give us a call again. That phone number is 931-629-1824, and it's on the screen as well when you pull it up on MustangsTV.com and go to Sports Talk Mania, and we'll talk a little bit of sports. Talking sports, a lot of things going on, and I'm telling you what, for it to be a kind of an off season of what's going on in the world of sports, I'm telling you, the NBA is just lighting it up with all these signees and LeBron James deciding to go back home to Cleveland. Got in the studio with me today, also got Kyle Johnson, the producer, the CEO, and all that of Mustangs TV. KJ, what do you think about the decision for LeBron James to head back to his home state and actually his home team where he started, the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Well, I'll be honest, it makes me respect the guy a whole lot more than what I did. Now, let me give you a little background right quick. I've always been I guess you could say, a LeBron hater because, I just felt like he overdid the decision back in 2010 and, brought in ESPN for the big broadcast and just made a big deal. It's all about me and,
right.
me. And,
yep.
And ever since then, I've just never had that much respect for the guy. But I'll tell you what, after reading the open letter that he posted on Sports Illustrated and reading that and, saying, hey, I realize now that I need to go back to my roots. I needed to go back and help the people out there, and he said, listen, among other things, he said, listen, I know that this is not going to be a overnight thing. My patience is going to be tested. I want to win, but I understand we're probably not going to be that good this coming year. Hey, somebody does that, I am all for it, and I think that it's great that he has come out and smelled the coffee, so to speak.
Well, the thing about it, he's went down to He's went down to Miami. He's won 2 championship rings. Well, is that enough for him? The big thing was he was wanting to win a ring. That's all what he said he wanted to do. He wanted to bring a championship back home to Cleveland. And that was from day one when he signed with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now he's went down to Miami and joined Bosh and Wade and won 2 championships. And, of course, they lost in the championship series this past basketball season in the championship, lost to San Antonio Spurs, but they still got those 2 rings, KJ. And does that, supplement what he's left in Cleveland? And the thing that I keep thinking back to is, you remember when he left Cleveland, all these fans burned the number 23 LeBron James jerseys and got on there, and you could see it on the internet like you wouldn't believe, and they was stomping it in the ground and everything else. Well, I ain't never seen such happy fans in my life when I seen that he made the announcement the other day to go back to Cleveland. You talking about some fans that was elated by it. I'm telling you what, those guys were unreal, and I can't say I blame them. You get the best, and to me, he's the best player in the game right now. So you get that, and now you've got going on what's with Bosh. Bosh was talking about going down, and playing at a different spot, and now he's decided he's going to go back to the Miami Heat. So, what are we going to do about that?
Yeah, I mean, you really can't blame him now. He felt like it was right. Obviously, the money is now there now that LeBron has decided to go back to Cleveland. You really can't blame Chris Bosh in that situation. I saw something earlier today on Sports Center. They said just the decision by LeBron James alone to go back to Cleveland is going to spur something like $500 million back to that area.
Right. And
that's unreal.
It is unreal, but it is all about the money. When you get into that stage of your career, and LeBron James, any professional athlete, when you get into that stage, as well as the team owners and all that, it's a business. It's true business. That's your way of life there. And it's all about the money. And that's what they're making this all about. And it just makes me dislike the NBA that much more. I'm not a huge NBA fan just simply because of the fact that a few years back they went on strike, and to me it was all about the money that they went on strike for. I think that's wrong. These guys are making a huge amount of money just to play the sports that they love to play. I don't blame them in a way. Don't get me wrong. You and I both, we would like to make more money. But when you're already doing something that you love to do, and I'm sure it's like a job to these guys, just like you and I, get up in the mornings to go to our job. We're thankful we got one. However, we'd much rather be sitting on the creek bank fishing, or in your case, sitting at a computer doing something and working with things on the computer, making things and all that. We'd much rather do that. However, there's a job to be done, and that's what they got going on. So, to me, it just kind of disappoints me that it's all turning out to that. But again, I can't say it. I blame them.
No, absolutely not.
We've also got an email address now that if you're bashful and shy and don't want, and y'all can tell I am, but if you're bashful and shy and you don't want to get online, we'd rather you call us, because we love talking to you each and every Monday from the hours of 6 to 7 p.m. about sports. If you don't want to, though, we've got an email address set up. The address is sportstalk@MustangsTV.com. And I'm sure KJ soon is going to get that down there where he's got our phone number listed and all that on our initial page when you get to Sports Talk Mania. And when that gets done, by all means, get on there. And if you just got a question you'd like to pop in there and ask and see what's going on, be more than glad to answer any email questions as well. Again, we'd love to talk to you live on Sports Talk Mania. But if not, hey, get on there. Hey, the Big Fred Show, I want to get a word in. The Big Fred Show is traveling each and every word just about every Thursday, going to different spots. Every now and then you guys are going to have to go to the same spots as you did this past week. But get on the Big Fred Show page on Facebook. Like him on that. Big Fred enjoys seeing all of his fans, and he's got some great fans that follow that show. And I just wanted to get that plug in before we start talking full-time sports. And a lot, like I say, a lot of things going on in sports. Talking about the basketball, Okay, look at baseball. We got the home run derby coming on tonight, as a matter of fact, this evening. And I don't know who everybody else's pick is to take this, but, I'm going to say everybody's kind of going with Batista. I'm kind of a little bit different. I'm pretty much going to hang my hat on Yasiel Puig, and we're going to see, and that's how I'm going to pronounce it. I think the announcers announced it about 7. Yeah, they announce it about 17 different ways every time you listen to it. But just so I don't sound any more worse than they do when it comes to that, we're going to call him Yasiel Puig. I'm saying he's going to take a home run derby just based off of what I've been watching baseball this year and seeing a lot of big contenders. I'm going to tell you, you got Cespedes, and you've got Adam Jones and Brian Dozier and Josh Donaldson, Todd Frazier, Giancarlo Stanton, and Justin Morneau. Justin Morneau is going to be there, I think, just more because he's there and they want to get him in there. He's going to hit his 6, 7, and maybe 8 home runs. That's going to be about all for him. And the one that you better keep your eye on is Jose Batista. That's the one that most people are predicting to take it this year, and Cespedes as well. But I'm going to say more people than not picking Jose Batista. I'm going against the grain. I'm gonna pick Pig out of it. I'm gonna say he's gonna surprise a few people and get a few more home runs than what everybody else thinks he's going to.
I saw on Sports Center earlier today also, they were saying that one of the home run derby contestants is from Minnesota. He plays for Minnesota. And, of course, the Home Run Derby and All-Star game is at Minnesota this year. And they said if he were to win the Home Run Derby tonight, it would be the first time since 1990 that has happened, that a player has participated in the Home Run Derby and won it in their own park that they play in. So I thought that was an interesting stat there.
Very interesting. And talking about the baseball, of course, they're on their All-Star break. And the Home Run Derby is a little bit different this year. They're doing it by rounds more or less this year than what they usually do. And I know it's still pretty much the same way, but they've changed a few of those rules in that Home Run Derby. So if you're watching, expect it to be just a little bit different this year than it has in the past. Also, a big race yesterday up in Loudon, New Hampshire for NASCAR fans. And a lot of turmoil coming out of that one, as well as 72-year-old Morgan Shepherd was just out on the track trying to make some laps and ended up crashing number 22 Joey Logano yesterday, and not a big fan. Joey Logano's not a big fan of Morgan Shepherd today, I can tell you that. And he got a little irritated about that, and I can't say that I blame him, but then again, I can't say that I blame Morgan Shepherd for being on the track out there as well. Just like any other athlete in any sport, you never really want to give it up. You know, even though he's 72 years old, and maybe or maybe not, does he need to be on the track? That, you know, that's another discussion for another day. But he's out there trying, and yes, I know he's going a slower speed than everybody else, and I know these other guys are coming up at him at a fast pace, as NASCAR is fast paced. And again, it's, you kind of look at it and think, should he be out there? Should he not be out there? Personally, I don't think he should be, but you know, for a man to keep going and giving it his best and trying to do, you know, the sport that he's done all of his life, and you know, the way he does it, because he doesn't have, Morgan Shepherd is who I'm speaking of, he doesn't have sponsorship. He'll put on the hood of his car, racing for Jesus or racing for Christ or something of that nature. He's out there to spread the word. He's not out there to give these big conglomerates, you know, huge sponsors. He's not out there to give them all that. He's out there for a reason, just because he's passionate about his sport, and he loves to do it. So, you know, that's one of those things where you just kind of toss a coin up in the air, should he or should he not, and go on with that. Talking about World Cup. We've been talking about the World Cup a lot on Sports Talk Mania, and talking about the World Cup, it's finally over. And, you know, I'm going to say Germany, probably the better team that I got to watch. And I'm not a huge soccer buff or a huge soccer fan, but I am a casual fan of it, especially when the World Cup comes around. And when the World Cup, you know, came around, of course, United States stayed in there, made it to the final 16 and all that. Got put out, you know, in the first round of the final 16. But then the Germany come in, and as far as a team play, you know, there was a lot of people, especially casual, the casual soccer fans, hadn't even heard of a lot of these players on the German team. But these guys got out there and played real well as a team, ended up winning the World Cup, and to be honest with you, they were the best team out there, I thought, the best team that I shared. Now, cared to watch and shared watching sometimes, but a lot of these teams had a lot better soccer players, a lot of well-known name players that didn't make it. And then they ended up giving the MVP to someone that I think, you know, pretty much the soccer world just exploded on that one because of who they gave the MVP to overall. And I'm just happy for Germany. Congratulations to Germany for taking the World Cup this year. It was a long, drawn-out process, and I know a lot of people get tired of it, but hey, you know, when United States of America is in there, we're definitely going to back them here at Mustangs TV and Sports Talk Mania. Phone lines are open at 931-629-1824. If you'd like, give us a call. We'll be glad to talk to you. We're going to take us a little break, catch our breath, and we'll be right back to give you some predictions in college football right after this. The Tennessee National Raceway, where dirt track racing is at its best. That's the Tennessee National Raceway, 316 Racetrack Road, Hohenwald, Tennessee. Come out each and every Saturday night during racing season, ladies and gentlemen, and see some of the best dirt track racing anywhere around this area. That's the Tennessee National Raceway, 316 Racetrack Road, Hohenwald, Tennessee. Back here live, Sports Talk Mania. Phone lines are open at 931-629-1824. Be glad to get you on the phone lines and talk to you some about sports. Also, again, don't forget, we've got email account set up as well at sportstalk@MustangsTV.com. Be glad to take any questions on there as well. We'd much rather talk to you, but hey, we'll answer your questions if you shoot them in to us at sportstalk@MustangsTV.com. Talking about our college football predictions, we're getting on down into the middle of the letters anyway. I started out alphabetically with Alabama being the first prediction we got. This week we got on our tally, we've got the Kentucky Wildcats and we've got the LSU Tigers. Now, with football season only being 45 days away now, I'm telling you what, KJ. Well, again, we got KJ in the studio with us again today. And KJ, college football, high school football, we can't get here fast enough, if you ask me.
Oh, I'm ready. I've been ready. I love football season.
We got to wait another 45 more days for college football. But guess what, folks? High school football is right around the corner. These young men and coaches and athletes going to be out there on the field here before too much longer. They're going to be going through, and if you know how hot it already is, just wait till they throw those 20, 30 pounds of pads on and those helmets on. It's going to really heat up real quick, and practice just right around the corner, and I can't wait to get over and catch some high school practices and swing by down at UNA's area down there and watch some college practicing as well. It's just one of those things that we love here at Mustangs TV and Sports Talk Mania. Talking about those Kentucky Wildcats. Kentucky, not too good for my predictions. I think you're going to have a better year than last season, as last season you were 2-10. And this year, I'm making you a couple of steps higher. So we're going to kind of go through that, and then I'll give you my final predictions at the end of it. Kentucky Wildcats this season start off against UT Martin. Well, you know what? That is a Tennessee team, and I'm sure UT, all the Tennessee fans around is going to be pulling for UT Martin against the Kentucky Wildcats. But I think Kentucky's going to come out of that one with a pretty handy win. Then they're going to take on Ohio. I think that's another win. I think that's probably going to be a little bit easier win for them than UT Martin, based off of what I saw from UT Martin. And then they're going to travel to the Swamp. They're going to go down to face Coach Muschamp and his Florida Gators. That's when they're going to get their first loss of the season. But they're going to start out good, I think, at 2-0, and then they're going to go to Florida. They're going to make it 2-1. Well, then they're going to host Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, one of those teams this year that I'm seeing a lot of people, including myself, having a little problem with. When you look at their schedule and look at their team that they've got coming back, which is merely nothing compared to what they had last year, and just about everybody left the same time Coach Franklin left. Coach Mason, I think, is going to come in and do a good job. I honestly do. And talking about the SEC Media Days actually started today. And Coach Mason was there, and when asked, he actually showed up with a bow tie on. He come in looking like he was a graduation night or something. He had on a nice suit with a bow tie and all that. So a little interesting approach, I guess, from Coach Derek Mason for the Vanderbilt Commodores. But anyway, it's just some interesting things going on. If you are not paying attention to it, don't forget about it. I'm pretty sure it goes on all week, as Coach Nick Saban's supposed to be there Thursday for you University of Alabama fans, or you Bammers as you call yourself. But we're talking about Kentucky. Against Vanderbilt, though, I think Kentucky is going to take a loss. That's going to make them 2-2 up to that point. Then they're going to go see the old ball coach at South Carolina. I'm giving the old ball coach that one, another loss on Kentucky's record. That's going to put them behind the 8 ball, so to speak. That makes them at 2-3. Then they got Louisiana Monroe. They host Louisiana Monroe at home. I'm giving them a win against La Monroe because don't think La Monroe is going to pull too many upsets this year as they have in the past. So we'll see how that goes, but my prediction is Kentucky wins that one to even the record at 3-3. Then they take the old trip to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, to take on Louisiana State University, or better known as LSU. I say that LSU, even though they've lost a lot, I still say they're going to pull that one out over the Kentucky Wildcats. That's going to make the Kentucky Wildcats a record of 3-4 at that point in time. Then they're going to host Mississippi State. Even though I think Mississippi State is going to be one of those teams that you better be looking for this year, I'm still going to give Mississippi State the win in this one. I'm going to give Kentucky the loss, but I think Kentucky's going to play a good ball game against Mississippi State. So that's going to put them at 3-5 at that point in time. Then they're going to travel to Missouri, another loss on Kentucky. So that's 3-6. Then they're going to host Georgia. Even though everybody thinks that this may be a game that Kentucky turns their season around and against this gets their first win in the SEC in a while, I don't think so. I think Georgia's going to take that one. That's going to put their record on down even further in the loss column. Then they're going to travel to our beloved Tennessee Volunteers. They travel to Neyland Stadium at Tennessee. I got to give Tennessee this one. I don't think we're going to have a game of 2 years ago when Kentucky actually takes it from us. That's not going to happen this year, I do not believe. Another loss for Kentucky, making their record at 3-8. Then the last game of the season for Kentucky is going to be at Louisville. Well, that's pretty much their state rivalry. They're going to travel to Louisville. Them traveling to Louisville, even though I don't think Louisville is going to have a whole lot this year, I'm still giving Louisville, even though I don't think Kentucky's going to have a whole lot this year, I'm still giving the Kentucky Wildcats a win at Louisville just because I think Louisville is going to have even less than Kentucky. So my predictions are Kentucky Wildcats 4-8 in 2014 college football action. Well, and the reason I'm going to say that is quarterback Patrick Toes, he's a good quarterback. He's a good, solid quarterback for the program. My concern is that the offensive line is so good, I think. I honestly believe Kentucky Wildcats may have one of the better offensive lines in college football. But I think that with them having a quarterback as good as Toes, that they're going to try to throw the ball. Well, he's got pretty much nobody to throw to this year. So if they do a lot of trying to get the pass game going, I don't think that's going to be very effective. I think they need to run the ball behind their veteran offensive line. But I know that their coaching staff and Coach Mark Stoops, I think he's more of a defensive-minded coach. He's going to try to stop them on the defensive side of the ball and maybe not push the run game as much as they should. So it's one of those things that Kentucky could surprise you. I don't think they're going to. I predict them to be 4-8 this coming season. And with their defense, though, they're going to stop a lot of teams. They've got 8 returning starters this year in the Kentucky Wildcat defensive side of the ball. So I see them holding a lot of teams pretty low in scoring just because that's Mark Stoops' background, and I think that he's going to take care of business on the defensive side of the ball. That carries us over to our LSU Tigers. Got the LSU Tigers now, 2014. And again, this is predictions coming from Lee Haygood here at Sports Talk Mania. If you'd like to call in, though, feel free to do so. 931-629-1824. We'll talk anything sports you would like to talk about. And we'll be here until the hour of 7 p.m. or we'll shut her down and get ready for next week's show. Same time next week between the hours of 6 and 7. But you can give us a call now. Phone lines are open, 931-629-1824. Be glad to talk to you. We'll break into these predictions if you like. If not, we'll hold off till after the end of the predictions. We can talk about the predictions at the end of that. LSU Tigers, what are they looking like this year? Well, guess what? They've got the top recruiting class for 2014, KJ. I know that's not a lot, to say right now. It depends on how well you can coach these 2014 recruits and how quick you can coach them up. And that's one thing that kind of, worries me this year about LSU. I know they've got the top recruiting class, or, said to have the top recruiting class. My thing is, do they really have that good of coaching to coach them up that quick? Alabama, I think they do. I think you got a good enough coaching staff at the University of Alabama to coach up these players that quick. LSU, I'm not sure. Coach Les Miles is one of those that I've wondered about since he's been at LSU. He does some of the smartest coaching moves I've ever saw, and then again he turns around and he does some of the ones that everybody has to question because it's just like he's got no clue standing there on the sideline. But he gets paid the big bucks for a reason. And that's why he's still there and he's still coaching, because he's a lot smarter than most of us are as far as coaching football. Talking about them LSU Tigers. LSU, I think you're probably going to have about the same season as you had last year. That's just my prediction. We're going to start you out Wisconsin. You're going to host Wisconsin. I'm going to give you the win against Wisconsin because I don't think Wisconsin has a whole lot for any SEC team except for, maybe the Kentuckys and Vanderbilt's, and we're going to see how Vanderbilt's going to do having a new coach and losing all the players that they lost. But LSU going to host Wisconsin their first game. They're going to take the win there. Then they got Sam Houston State. They're going to host Sam Houston State. That's pretty much where Coach Miles and his staff's probably going to have second, third stringers in there in probably the second quarter. Depends on how fast they want to get that one started. Then they play Louisiana Monroe. They're going to get the win there as well. That's going to put them off to a great start of a season at 3-0. Then they got Mississippi State. I think they're going to take the win against Mississippi State. That one was a hard one for me. Mississippi State, I think, is going to be one of those teams that really is going to shock a few people. I don't know if they're to the point yet. Coach Mullins has got them to the point where they're going to actually fend for the SEC title in the West or not, because you've got Alabama, Auburn, LSU. You got all these teams over there. So, Mississippi State, if they do, they do. But I think LSU is going to take that one, make them 4-0 to start the season. Then it's New Mexico State. I'm giving them a win there as well, 5-0. Now we're going to get to what I call a little bit of the middle of the season, the heart of the season for LSU. And this is going to pretty much determine what happens to LSU this season. They're going to be at Auburn. They're going down to play, actually they're going up to play Auburn, and I'm giving them the loss. I'm giving Auburn the win on that one, so that's going to put them at 5-1. Then they go to Florida. They go down to the Swamp. Coach Muschamp and his Florida Gators. I'm giving them the win against Florida. A lot of predictions that I've been seeing KJ online is showing Florida to probably take that one. I don't see it. I just see that LSU's probably still going to have just a little bit too much for Florida this year. I'm giving them a win there and make them 6-1.
You heard it here first, folks.
If I'm right, I'm going pro and I'm going famous after this. If all these predictions come true. However, chances are they're probably not. But you know what? We're going to give it to you, and I'm going to be as honest with you as I can.
It's a bold prediction.
Bold predictions coming from Sports Talk Mania. At Florida again, they're going to take the win. Kentucky, they're going to host Kentucky. I'm giving them the win against Kentucky. Ole Miss, another one of those games that I really had to sit and go back and forth and check out. Excuse me. Check out lineups. I'm having to check out, who's going against who. What's the competition going to be like this position against this position? And that was one of those that really, really stumped me. But I had to give it to LSU in the end. Had to give it to Ole Miss in the win. Ole Miss takes the win against LSU, giving LSU their second loss of the season. Then they're going to host Alabama. Another one of those games. I honestly believe when I was checking out Alabama and the whole SEC schedule and kind of going over most of these predictions, I wanted to give Alabama the loss on that one, give LSU the win. However, I have went and studied more. I'm giving LSU the loss, Alabama the win in that game. That's always a good ball game, so that's one of those that you just kind of toss a coin if you'd like. I don't like to toss the coins. I like to more or less get in and analyze these games. That's the reason I'm giving Alabama the win in that one. LSU is going to take the loss. Then they're at Arkansas. And that's another game that's kind of a throw-up for LSU. You kind of toss that one up in the air. Whoever takes it, takes it. However, I'm giving that one to LSU. Because I think LSU at that point in time, they're going to be coming off of games against Auburn, Florida, Kentucky, Ole Miss, and Alabama. I think at that point of the season, getting into your 11th ball game of your season, I think that you're going to be tired, hurt, and whatever. However, I think LSU is going to squeak that one out at Arkansas. Final game of the season for the LSU Tigers. They're hosting Texas A&M without Johnny Football. Without Johnny Football, I just don't see Texas A&M being a huge threat in the SEC West this year. Therefore, I'm giving LSU the win. If you've been counting it up, LSU, 9 wins, 3 losses for the season. Again, 9-3 LSU Tigers record. Again, they've got the top recruiting class in 2014. How fast can Les Miles and his coaching staff get these young men worked into playing position? Who knows? That's the question, the big question for LSU. They've got quarterback challenges going on just because Zach Mettenberger, one of the better quarterbacks coming out of the SEC, is gone. He's no longer with the LSU Tigers. Now they've got a young kid named Jennings, vying for it. I think Jennings is probably going to be their opening day starter. However, he's going to have a close competition from Brandon Harris. Brandon Harris is one of those that I think is going to be one of the future quarterbacks in the SEC, depending on how LSU's offensive coordinator takes it. And whoever they get at quarterback, again, Kentucky's got this problem. They've got no receivers. LSU, right opposite. LSU's got some great receivers, I think, coming up through the rankings and a lot of good recruits. However, again, it's going to be how fast they can get these young men coached up, because they lost Jarvis Landry last year, and Odell Beckham Jr., he's also gone. So that's 2 of the bigger receivers in college football, period, not just the SEC. I'm going to say 2 of the top 10 receivers in all of college football gone off of the LSU Tiger squad. That's the reason, again, I'm giving them a 9-3 record for this coming college football season. With that said, that's a lot of talk. I'm going to take me a little bit of break, and we'll be right back here on Sports Talk Mania. Tune right back into us. Stay here with us, because after the break, we're going to announce that winner of those 2 tickets to see the Nashville Sounds play the Oklahoma City Redhawks coming up July the 26th. Those tickets will be given away right after our break, and we come back here on Sports Talk Mania.
Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for listening to my brother Lee on Sports Talk Mania with Lee Haygood. Be sure to also tune in on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock for the Big Fred Show. Me and Lee and Mustangs TV, we the Total Bro Network, baby. Tune in and listen to us.
The Tennessee National Raceway, where dirt track racing is at its best. That's the Tennessee National Raceway, 316 Racetrack Road, Hohenwald, Tennessee. Come out each and every Saturday night during racing season, ladies and gentlemen, and see some of the best dirt track racing anywhere around this area. That's the Tennessee National Raceway, 316 Racetrack Road, Hohenwald, Tennessee. Back here live, Sports Talk Mania, just like we are each and every Monday from the hours of 6 to 7 p.m. This is July the 14th. Let's talk some sports here to get this week kicked off and started. Got football just right around the corner, 45 days away till college football starts. High school's going to start a little bit earlier than that, so if you're a huge football fan, you don't have to wait 45 days. Guess what? Talking about high school football, August the 22nd, our own beloved Loretta Mustangs hit the road, KJ. We're going to be going up to Hohenwald, Tennessee, which, by the way, is where Tennessee National Raceway is located, just right up the road from Lewis County High School, where we're going to be headed August the 22nd. Mustangs TV and the group is going up to back the Loretta Mustangs. We're going to try to take a win at Lewis County. That's August 22nd against Lewis County. The Panthers from Lewis County up at Hornwall, Tennessee. Got the Loretta Mustangs traveling that way. Again, that's August 22nd. That's not 45 days away. When I said 45 days, I was talking about college football. We're talking about high school football. We're talking about football right in your own backyard. And ladies and gentlemen, whether you're Loretta, Lawrence County High School, or Mount Pleasant Tigers, or whoever, go out and support your local high school team. These kids are not making a dime to get on the field, but I guarantee you, just about every one of them is giving their hardest on the football field each and every Friday night. So go out and support your local high school athletics, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, soccer. Even some of them's got hockey teams. If you got that, go support them. These young folks need that, need support on their sideline. Again, August 22nd. We're not that far away, and the Loretta Mustangs will be traveling to Lewis County to kick off their season. And, man, I can't wait. It's football time in Tennessee, KJ. It's already upon us.
Yeah, it'll be here before you know it. And, to kind of celebrate football season coming up here, we've had a contest going on the Mustangs TV Facebook page for 2 tickets to see the Nashville Sounds versus the Oklahoma City Redhawks up at Greer Stadium coming up on July
the 26th.
26th, that's right. And we're going to go ahead and draw for the winner of those 2 free tickets right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, KJ, I'm going to let you draw the number. Let's see what you draw here. Let's see. KJ, you're showing it to me. It's the number 54.
54.
Let's see who number 54, or see what number 54, which person goes with number 54.
We're gonna match that up in a random order here from our Facebook page. So we're gonna match 54 up with that person. And let me count here, going down the page. Okay, let me double check.
Who I got? Let me see. Are we got the same? Yep.
Let me count it one more time, going back the other way. Got to double check for accuracy.
Well, we want to make sure if we ain't got but 2 tickets to give away now, we can't mess this one up.
That's right. All right, looks like we've got our winner. Our winner is Matthew Barnes. Matthew, if you will, give me a call at 242. That's 931-242-6407. Once again, 931-242-6407 before Wednesday to claim and arrange pickup for your tickets, and they'll be yours. That's compliments of MustangsTV.com.
Congratulations again going out to Matthew Barnes. Matthew Barnes, congratulations on winning the 2 Nashville Sounds tickets. Again, that game being played July the 26th. It's the Nashville Sounds versus the Oklahoma City Redhawks. The Oklahoma City Redhawks being a Houston Astros affiliation, and, of course, the Nashville Sounds being a Milwaukee Brewers affiliation.
Hey, talking some minor league baseball, have you seen the plans, the drawings for the new Nashville Sounds Stadium?
I have, and those are some of the nicest plans.
Man.
I'm going to tell you, KJ, as far as a AAA ball team, like the Nashville Sounds, and every now and then they get shifted into a AA, and I've seen them be the same way. But it doesn't matter. When you're in the single, double, or AAA, when you got a stadium coming to you the way they've shown that stadium to be as far as the drawings of it, wow, man. It's just like going to a professional baseball stadium with maybe 10 or 15,000 less seats in it. That's all the difference is.
It looks beautiful. I can't wait to attend a game or two there when they get it opened up. And I'll tell you, the Braves are building their new stadium down in Georgia, and we just got new stadiums going up all around us, around here. It's just, I personally think, you talk to some people and they say, well, I just don't know about it. It's all this money being spent and all this and that happening. And I mean, my personal opinion is if the money is there, which for these 2 projects, it has been, hey, why not? Go ahead. Shows me the economy's improving. People are building. I think there's going to be new jobs to come out of this, because you get these bigger and better stadiums. They got to have more people to run this thing and, more going on. So, hey, I mean, the more the merrier, if you ask me.
And not only that, KJ, talking about the people working there, think about the people that it's going to take to build this huge conglomerate.
Oh, yeah. There's some construction companies that'll benefit big time out of that,
And a lot of your construction companies, even though they've got their core of people, when they're doing a huge project such as building a new stadium for the Nashville Sounds, they got to add people. And guess what? People that's close to Nashville area, even our area, we're not that far away from Nashville. And a lot of people that's been out of work and out of jobs for a while, they've got, they can still travel that hour-and-a-half drive, from Loretta and Lawrenceburg area. They can travel that to work in these jobs and make some pretty good money. These construction workers, for the most part, make they're out in the weather a lot, but they make some pretty good money as well. So congratulations to Nashville Sounds. I hope everything continues to fall through. Talking about new building projects. Look at the one that's being looked at for Loretta High School. Getting that new high school over here, as we had Commissioner Chris D. Jackson called us in a few shows ago, kind of went over some of the things, posted a few things on Facebook and on the internet as well about the plans, the way they was drawn out. Man, I'm telling you what, I'm already getting excited about that deal.
Yeah, me too. It's still in the early stages, still some approvals and some, yays to be given toward all of that. But, I hope it happens. And I think in the long run, it will provide many teachers with jobs that, normally we just don't have the room for right now. And, you look at the additional sports stadiums, sports fields that'll be built, a new gym and I know tennis courts is in the drawing for the new Loretta High School. So we'll have some on-campus tennis courts for the first time ever. So just a lot of positives, out of it. Hopefully that project will happen and go forward.
Well, it sounds like this area in general, like you said, and congratulations to all these, if you want to call them politicians or whatever, it's helping these things get started and kicked off in the state of Tennessee. We love it when the state of Tennessee gets a lot of these things, and our friends to the south of us in North Alabama. When you hear it, like you said, it's just the excitement in the air of when you hear about these huge things happening. Loretta getting possibly a new high school. Then you've got look at new things such as Nashville Sounds getting a new stadium, to play in. And talking about that, our friends up in Summertown following this little building project that's going on in South Lawrence County, our friends in North Lawrence County, they've got that to look forward to as well, because it's my understanding that the pitch first is for Loretta High School and Loretta to get them, a new building and some new grounds, and then it's possibly going to be moving up to the Summertown area.
Well, ideally, both of them happen at the same time.
We would love for that to happen.
Yeah, I think that's the real goal, because here's the thing, you never know when something may fall through. They start building one school and then something happens and then, they don't get to build the other school. And so, I think they're really trying to make an effort to just build them both at the same time, as they should. And that way, they've got them both going, and they'll be both completed, hopefully around the same time.
I would love for that to happen.
Absolutely, and everybody's happy. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, I'm going to tell you, and talking about Summertown, they, for the last probably 10 years, KJ, there's been talks of maybe them starting a football team up there, high school football team. And thankfully, they've got in for the past few years. They've had them a youth football league for the first time, in forever. And with their youth football league that they've started up there, that shows me that community is looking to step up, to the plate, bring some football in, and I would love to see Summertown High School get a football team, because not many counties around smaller counties, what I consider Lawrence County, the smaller areas of the state of Tennessee, not many of them have 3 high school football teams in their county. Most of the smaller counties just have 1 high school football team. Luckily, as of right now, we've got 2. And like I say, the talks have been in about a third one being at Summertown High School. And I would love for the Summertown Eagles to actually have a high school football team. And I'm happy every time I read some posts, on the internet about their youth football league. It shows me that the community is behind them. Of course, the mom and dads are behind them, and these young kids can get out and play football, and their cheerleaders, have something to cheer about. And of course, Summertown always got a band that they're going to put out there to play some good band music for you as well. So I'm excited about this deal. And hopefully it would all fall just as you said. The Loretta Mustangs and the Summertown Eagles both have new facilities, and we can get football kicked off at Summertown sooner or later.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see it. Football is a great sport.
And talking about that, one of our own football players is leaving out this weekend as well. We call him Cool Breeze here on Mustangs TV. That's Matt Rawson. Congratulations, Matt Rawson. Be heading to the College of the South down at Sewanee. And it's my understanding that he's going to leave out after this weekend, and having him a going away deal this weekend and all. And by all means, we appreciate our invite to it, KJ. I know we were invited to it as Mustangs TV, and we appreciate that. And wish Matt Rawson and of course his parents, we wish all of them the best in this deal, and we hope Matt goes down to the University of the South and actually has a great career down there. Most of all, we're glad he's going to college and getting that education in, but we'd love to see him do well in football down there as well.
Yeah, we're going to have him on the show next Monday, he's told me, so looking forward to that.
Good deal. Look forward to speaking with Cool Breeze next Monday and see what he's looking forward to going to the University of the South. Talking about high school football, I want to get that to Loretta High School in case you have not yet got your schedule printed up or whatever. While I'm saying that, though, I want to remind everyone that phone lines are open at 931-629-1824, or you can shoot us an email at sportstalk@MustangsTV.com. We'll be glad to take a question on the email as well as you'd call in, but we'd love for you to call in. As I said, phone lines are open. New phone number, 931-629-1824. That way I don't cut these people off that's been trying to call for the last few weeks. Talking about Loretta Mustang football, most places on the web are not showing a game on there. Most of them's got 9 football games. We've got that 10th game, and it's right in between week 1 and week 3, and that's going to be week 2. We've got Lewis County, like I said. We'll be traveling to Lewis County on August the 22nd. Mustangs TV and the Loretta Mustangs be traveling to Lewis County to take on the Lewis County Panthers at Hohenwald. Looks like that's going to be another Lewis County-Loretta matchup coming up. First game of the season, who knows? You can make all the predictions you want. You can say anything you want, but until these two teams hit the field and play each other, I don't think neither coach is going to have a clue about what team they're going to be having for the 2014 football season. Then do we travel down the road, KJ, or is it actually at home on the next one?
It's going to be here.
It's going to be here. That's Rogers High School out of Green Hill, Alabama. Be coming just, 8 miles north to Loretta, Tennessee. If it's 8 miles, it may not even be 8 miles.
It's short, yeah.
I already know that one real well. But we're going to host Rogers High School out of Green Hill, Alabama on August the 29th. Then we got Perry County. Perry County, of course, being Linden, Tennessee. Going to be coming in to LM Forsyth Memorial Field on September the 5th. Then guess what? We've got that county rivalry. We've got the Lawrence County Wildcats going to be coming in to Loretta High School and LM Forsyth Memorial Field, taking on Lawrence County in our 4th game of the season. Then we got to travel across to the west side. We go into Collinwood. See what Collinwood's got for the year. I'm understanding that these guys have a new coach over at Collinwood. The Trojans actually, if I'm not mistaken, their coach just resigned, didn't he?
Yeah, he resigned to go to a school in Alabama. Don't recall which one, but he had a good offer down there, and so he accepted that position. And I don't know if they have actually named a new coach in Collinwood yet. They one would kind of hope that they have, but I haven't heard any news out of Collinwood that they have named a new coach. So hopefully if they haven't, they will soon. As these guys, they need a coach. So.
Well, you can't just get out there and start letting teenagers run around on a football field. However, I have seen sometimes that might have been a better thing, KJ.
Yeah.
And again, my hat's off to all these coaches. They do an excellent job on the field for the most part. Of course, we're all going to be, whatever you want to call it, armchair quarterbacks or Monday morning coaches or whatever you want to call it. We're going to all be that every now and then. We're going to question a coach's move and what's happening. And we'll see what happens there against Collinwood. Again, Collinwood going to have a new coach in the making. So then we're going to travel to Mount Pleasant. Going to head up the road north just a little ways to play the Mount Pleasant Tigers at Mount Pleasant. That one, again, going to be one of the bigger games for Loretta High School, simply because that's going to be one of these so-called conference games or regional games or district games, ever how you want to look at it in high school football. That's going to be one that could get interesting. Then we're going to travel to Wayne County. That's October the 3rd. We're going to be making our way over to Wayne County, another Wayne County team, as we've already going to be played Collinwood at Collinwood. We got to travel back to Wayne County 2 weeks later to take on the Wayne County Wildcats. Then we've got a long road trip, KJ. Whether you like it or whether you don't, this team come into Loretta High School last year, and we didn't have a whole lot for them last year. Speaking of Trousdale County. And this year, guess what? As usual, you got to turn it around and you got to travel or they got to travel. Well, guess what? They done the traveling last year. We're going to have to do the traveling this year. Another long road trip. Not as long as Kentucky maybe, but, it's not too far away as far as that goes. So that's going to be August the 10th. We'll be traveling to Trousdale County talking about the Loretta Mustangs. Then we're going to host Richland. Richland coming out of Giles County, Tennessee. Just a little north of Pulaski, Tennessee, right up the highway from them more or less. They're going to be making their way into Loretta, Tennessee at LM Forsyth Field hosting the Richland Raiders. Then the last game of the season for the Loretta Mustangs. Their open week actually comes the week after this. They don't have an open week anywhere in between, so it follows the end of the season. So the good thing about that, KJ, is if you make it into your district playoffs, that's a good thing, because we've got that one extra week that we're going to be able to heal up some sores and bruises and things of that nature. And with that being said, we've got Columbia Academy coming into town the last ball game of the season. And Columbia Academy is another one of those games that could go either way. It depends on how well your season's going. Of course, that being the last game of our season, hopefully we're on some kind of a momentum run at that time. We're ready to get to the playoffs, hopefully. And if that's the case, I think we take the one against Columbia Academy, especially since they're coming here. If I ain't mistaken, we took it here 2 years ago when we played them here at home. And last year, did we win that one last year or not? Do you recall against Columbia Academy traveled up there?
No, that was the one where Logan Nunley caught that touchdown in the end zone and the officials waved it off. Sure did.
You're absolutely right, even though we sat and watched it on video time after time again and clearly seen that it was a catch, if I ain't mistaken.
I think it was. I mean, it's debatable, but
it's debatable. So it wasn't clear. Even if we'd had instant replay, it wouldn't have been one of those where you could have overturned it. However, that was one of those games that could have been, should have been, would have been. Either way, we got them back again this year, October the 24th, coming into LM Forsyth Memorial Field. That's going to close out the season for the Loretta Mustangs. And next week, I promise we're going to talk about the Lawrence County High School Wildcats. And I've been in talks with Coach David, or actually not Coach David Marston, but some of his affiliates, so to speak. So hopefully we can get Coach Marston on our show, if not next week, maybe later on in the or closer to the season anyway. But we're still going to be talking about the Lawrence County Wildcats next Monday on the show. We're going to also be giving you some more predictions for college football. We're going to go right on down the SEC, get the next two in line. Phone lines are open. We're going to take a little break before we close out the show today. We'll be back and hopefully talk to you on the phone. It's 931-629-1824. Look forward to talking to you here on Sports Talk Mania.
Yo, this is Big Fred. Tune in Thursday night. Big Fred Show. You never know what we're going to talk about. Never know where we're going to be. We'll be everywhere, because that's where we like to be, is everywhere. Tune in Thursday night, 7 o'clock. The Big Fred Show. Also, check out Lee Haygood's show, Sports Talk Mania. He's an encyclopedia, and if he don't know it, it ain't true. So there you go, y'all. Big Fred Show, Sports Talk Mania. Tune in.
The Tennessee National Raceway, where dirt track racing is at its best. That's the Tennessee National Raceway, 316 Racetrack Road, Hohenwald, Tennessee. Come out each and every Saturday night during racing season, ladies and gentlemen, and see some of the best dirt track racing anywhere around this area. That's the Tennessee National Raceway, 316 Racetrack Road, Hohenwald, Tennessee. Back here live at Sports Talk Mania. I'm your host, Lee Haygood. Be glad to take a call. We've got about 4 more minutes remaining in the day's show. Glad you tuned in and joined us this week. Wish we'd have had more participation in phone calls. People must be shy, KJ.
Yeah, they must be. That's one thing. If you ever have anything you want to talk about, no matter if we're talking about it at the time or not, if it's got to do with sports, you want to talk about it, you can just shoot us an email, give us a phone call, either one, and by golly, we'll talk about it.
We'll be glad to talk about it. If you want to talk about anything else, politics or anything else, don't forget we got the Big Fred Show for you right here on Mustangs TV as well, each and every Thursday evening from the hours of 7 to 8 p.m. Big Fred Show, a little different than Sports Talk Mania. Big Fred more or less on camera. He likes to see his bearded warrior self on the camera a lot, so he's on camera and he's actually there taking questions via emails or whatever on the Big Fred Show. And also want to invite everyone, wherever Big Fred Show is going to be on Thursday evenings, come out and join us. I tell you, you're going to have a great time, and usually we're going to be at a place where you can enjoy some great food as well. And not sure where's the Big Fred Show headed this Thursday night, KJ, or have you guys figured out a place yet?
You know, that is yet to be determined. So I got to get together with Big Fred and see what we got going. That's the thing about it. You know, you and Big Fred, I just pretty much, let y'all do y'all's thing with the shows, and I just show up when I can, and y'all just do a fantastic job of just getting everything together and, going on with the show and, organizing everything. And I think it's wonderful, and I can't express my appreciation enough to you guys.
Well, we appreciate you guys as well, you and Wade and the rest of the Mustangs TV crew as Mustangs TV's trying to do the best we can do for our community. Like we've said in the past, KJ, it's not about making money. Most of this is completely non-profit by all means. I know you know that better than I do.
Oh, yes.
But it's all non-profit. We're just trying to bring information and have a good time and get our community more involved with our local sports and things of that nature, as well as talking about professional sports and all good things that's related to that as well. College sports. We're going to talk about any sports here on Sports Talk Mania, as well as the Big Fred Show. We're going to be talking about a lot of things. And it kind of makes my day when I hear that Philly Wigs, just down the road from us here, is going to be opening on Mondays. So guess what? We may be planning a Sports Talk Mania show live at Philly Wigs here before too long, since they're going to be opening on Mondays. We look forward to being down there and maybe getting them to join in on us on Mustangs TV and Sports Talk Mania. And I know Big Fred Show was there a few weeks ago.
Yeah, Big Fred was there. I want to throw in right quickly, we are at a time at Mustangs TV for our yearly sponsorship renewals and new sponsorships. This is for the sports year. This helps support us, bills that have to be paid, throughout the sports season, any equipment that we may need, all that adds up. And so we have different packages available. If you own a business, if you know of a business that might be interested in sponsoring Mustangs TV, don't hesitate to give us a call, shoot us an email. Do something there and let us know. You can reach myself. My number is my personal cell phone number is 242-6407. That's a 931 area code. You can also always email Lee. His email address is sportstalk@MustangsTV.com. That'll get you through to Lee. And if you have a tip, by all means, let us know.
Absolutely, and also if you just want to call our show and you want to talk about it, we'll be glad to fill you in on it. If you want to shoot us an email, like KJ said, at sportstalk@MustangsTV, we'll be glad to talk to you about it there and give you some more information on what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, we could not do any of this. We couldn't do our traveling to cover Mustangs football, baseball, basketball, soccer, all these things, all these sports. The graduations, it seems to be a pretty big thing. The award ceremonies that you usually cover, KJ, seems to be big things. We couldn't do any of this if we didn't have these great sponsors that we have that you see clicking on the side of Mustangs TV. And of course, when you open up Mustangs TV, you see them all flashing across the top of the screen. We want to thank all these sponsors, and again, we ask you to stay involved with us here on Mustangs TV. Again, we're not making a profit. We're not making a penny off this. Every penny that we get goes into covering us to get to a ball game. It doesn't even buy food or anything for us. All that covers is our gas to get there, our equipment that we have to use while we're there. So again, it's a huge thing. If you want to continue to support Mustangs TV, by all means, get in on us on our sponsorship run or our sponsorship drive that we got going on right now. The ones that we've already went to and you guys have already given, we definitely thank you for your kindness, and we thank you for allowing us to keep going on with Mustangs TV. That's the end of our show for the day. It's July the 14th, 2014. Look forward to talking to each and every one of you, and look forward to seeing you back here on July the 21st. We'll be back here next Monday from the hours of 6 to 7 p.m., bringing you all the information about the sports world that we have on hand, as well as anything you guys may want to talk to. Until next time, I'm Lee Haygood.
I'm Kyle Johnson.
Everyone have a great week, and Godspeed.